Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just loving all these smiles this morning. Everyone is such a good vibe today.
Yes, it is. And I love what Stella's doing. Oh my goodness. Love it.
Do you know Stella as well?
No, I just met her today, but she said she's writing
Hey,
outside of Pilates, and here I am, the one
nice,
outside of Pilates.
nice. But you're not in the Pilates space at all. In
Well,
in terms of
that's interesting you asked that or mentioned that.
yes.
I was a Pilates instructor for several years when I was getting
Okay.
my and I 2012 I stopped. I Pilates reformer, mat Pilates, teach all of that at a local gym here, and then at a studio. And actually, how I met Jenna is my mentor in the Pilates space, Nicole Ragland. She's the one that introduced me to Jenna, and because she knows how I merged the two worlds, my two worlds, and during the pandemic, I picked it back up because
There you go.
I couldn't go to the gym. And so I decided, hey, I have a community online, a wellness community online that I've always kept. And I said, y'all want to work out with me? And so then I started teaching Pilates, mat Pilates on Saturday mornings via.
Nice.
And so I went back to it. I picked back up my certifications and did it. So it's
There you go.
my journey with Pilates. I try to stay away, but I can't. I try to just be a student. And
Yeah.
I'm but occasionally I move into the instructor spot.
Well, and don't you, this is the thing too, right? Like if you're an educator, much like you're an entrepreneur,
Yes.
right? Like if you're an entrepreneur and you get a full-time job, you're still going to be thinking about that business idea in the back of your head. You can't escape being an entrepreneur. In the same way, if you're an educator and you're in the Pilates space or the fitness space, someone's going to ask you a question or someone's going to do something and you're going to be right back in it because it's part of who you are.
Yes, it is. And I love it. You know, I've done it for, I can't even tell you how many, well, let's not talk about decades because then I may show my age. So let's just hush.
I'm 46. It's out there, whatever. We're here.
Woo, woo. I'm 25. So yeah. So we're right
Hey,
together.
nice. I'm not supposed to laugh at that part, right? I'm supposed to be like, oh, yeah.
No, no, no. You're supposed to be like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
you're that old. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice. So, Dr. Tammy Francis,
Yes.
can you tell us about like your business and what you do, and we'll just go where the conversation goes from there.
All right. Sounds good. Because I do a lot and I love it,
Mhm.
y'all. I know people say you're supposed to do that one thing and have that one thing. As y'all can see, I was trying to hide my Pilates background, but they found me and now I'm gonna start to drink. But I am an associate professor in Texas, and
Okay.
but I'm also an entrepreneur. So I consider myself an entrepreneur. I'm a strategist, and that's kind of the thread that I've considered that connects everything that I do, whether it's
Mhm.
wellness, whether it's education, whether it's business strategy, because I help business and business startups and entrepreneurs. But really, all
Strategist? Sorry, is
yeah,
your catchword? Okay, cool.
yes, strategist, because I don't call myself a coach.
Hmm.
I feel like I should have a whistle and moving people along. But so I always say that I work with purpose-driven leaders. So I work with them
Mm.
coming to me because they're ready.
Yes.
They don't need it.
Yes.
They just need the strategy. They need the plan. They need the motivation. And so and most of that comes from within. And so I really focus on the inner and then we
Yes.
action, right? I want to give you something to execute and then of course monetize, right? Because this is business.
Yes.
I do a little,
Right.
but I'm also in the blockchain space. Like I'm a blockchain educator and consultant. And so I am a professor for Alltash University as well. That's different
Mhm.
from my day job. So, you know, I do a lot, Martin. That's why you said, let's get into what you do. Like we're going to be talking all morning.
I know. It's true, you know? Like, I mean, that's true because like you said about that one thing, like I've heard people say that, okay, well, just dial it down to one thing. Just dial it down to one thing. It's like, ah, ah.
And so what I've
But
done
how?
was teach. I teach, whether I'm teaching Pilates,
Okay,
about your business, whether I'm teaching
right.
you how to read and write,
Hmm.
or to improve your reading and writing skills. I'm teaching you how to be successful in college and life. Like
Yes.
And then, of course, transform, because we want change, because I'm the catalyst.
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay. So for those of you in the chat, write down what your title is. What
Yeah.
does it say on your business card?
Ooh.
And I've had Akil Augustine on before, and he is a local guy who's a commentator for the Toronto Raptors and does all kinds of stuff. He does meditation, he does color commentary, he writes books, he does all these different things. And his business card says storyteller.
Ooh. I love that. Love that.
Because whether he's telling a story of what's happening in a game or he's telling high school kids the power of meditation, it's storytelling. He's getting people pulled into his story to understand something. My card says movement specialist because I have a social work background and a personal training and a sport conditioning and stuff. So whether it's a physical movement or emotional movement, I'm getting people to just move in some way and allowing them and coming alongside them in that journey. In the chat, what does your business card say? Because I love strategists. I
Yeah.
love the way that captures much of what you do.
And when people ask me, who am I? The catalyst. Like, I'm the one that gets you started. I'm the one that gets you going on your journey. And then if you do need to go deeper in Pilates, then I'll refer you to Martin, right? I'll send you to Martin, who's really into this space and has his own business established and really doing amazing things. And or if you need a financial advisor, then I'll pass you to that person. Like, I'm just the one that helps you develop the strategy, the plan, so you get unstuck. So you can take it
Yes.
one step at a time. And so, so I'll usually refer to myself as the catalyst or the strategist, but yeah,
Yes.
my business card. Those are the two things of mine.
Yeah, that's so fun. So then how does someone find you? Because this is, and even before you answer that, this is the question that I have. When someone like you has like a brilliant approach and a catch-all phrase like that, how does someone know when they're stuck enough to reach out to you?
Well, that's a great question. So one, if you follow me, you'll
Okay.
see some of the things that I do, and they'll know when you have this burning desire. Like my thing is to manifest more. When you know
Hmm.
that what you're doing is not all you can do, that's
Yes.
when you have,
Yes.
you can feel it right in the right in your chest. So we can talk about chakras because I'm also a yoga instructor, but we
Okay.
talk about, but you feel it like right in your chest. You just have that burning desire that there's more I should be doing. There's more I can
Yes.
do. Like, I am more than this one thing. I'm more than just an elementary teacher. I'm more than just a police officer. Whatever your job is,
Yes.
when you know that you desire more, and that's why my platform is more. You'll see manifest more, reap more.
Hmm.
My catchphrase is about more. Is when you have that desire for more, call your girl. And I'll get you started and I'll direct you in the right place. Like, if I'm not the one, depending on where you are on your journey, if I'm not the one that help you toward that more, and you're at the point where you're beyond my services, what I do, then I refer you to some of my friends, right?
Yes.
Like, I refer to you some of my friends that can help you wherever you are.
Yes.
I know people, just a few.
Right. Exactly. Do you have like a preferred circle of people that you refer people out to? Because I always preach that we should have in the Pilates world, you should have like osteo, an RMT, a athletic therapist, a chiro. Like you have the feel in your hip pocket that you can pass people off to. Do you have your circle, your network?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I have my network. And, of course, there's always have this inner circle. You have your inner circle, but you also have that little outer circle that's a little extended. And so I
Yes.
have people. So if it's for financial literacy and things like that, like, I have someone for that. If it's Pilates, I have someone for that. And let me just be transparent. Typically, it's probably one of my mentors, right? Is someone
Yes.
really worked closely in the space. I know their philosophy behind what they do. I also know if they operate in integrity. I know those
Yes.
about them. So it's not
Mhm.
just someone I met yesterday. Um,
Yep.
Somebody that I really know. And then if that circle doesn't work, if those 5 or 6 people don't work for you, and that's not what you need, then I do have an extended circle. However, I am clear about, like, this person, I know I've seen them, but I have
Mhm.
not personally worked with them, right? But I do have that. But I do have that core group that I know them beyond last week. Like, we've been knowing each
Yep.
other. So yeah.
You know, it's funny, and someone might save me from myself when I say this, but the people that I refer out to are people that I think are better than me,
Hmm.
or people that are as passionate as me in a different arena.
Yes. Love it. That's perfect. You said that well, Martin. That's what I tried to say.
Well, because like what happens is like you say that and people are like, oh no, you're like, you know, like they want to like don't hear that like I'm downgrading who I am. I surround myself with people who are fantastic, someone who's better than me, stronger than me in some other area, because I esteem them that high that I'm handing them off to you, or someone like in the financial areas who like they're as excited as I am about Pilates, they're as that excited about life insurance,
Exactly.
right? I'm like, that's that level of passion and dedication and commitment to bettering themselves in that field. That's the person that I'm handing you off to.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenna.
Hey, Jenna. Yes. We had fun last night. Did you jump in for part
I
of
watched for a little bit, but we were celebrating birthdays and doing that sort of thing, so I couldn't stay on. But I heard the conversation. I heard about 20 minutes of it, and so it was a great conversation y'all were having about, just how you got involved in Brink.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Have you?
good. So, okay, so with all of your hustles, with all the things you're passionate about, one, what is your message for Brink? And two, how do you decide that this is the message that you need to bring to Brink?
Usually, I'm so transparent. Usually, the
Nothing wrong with that.
Brink is wherever I am. So
Yes.
part of my it's like I help you by sharing mine. Like I cannot tell you anything that I have not been through, that I have not done, that I have not experienced. And then I also look at the people I'm helping and of course what's going on in the world. And so I know that mindset is a big deal this last year and a half. It's something that we really have to focus on and go back to. We have to reset. And so
Yes.
that's good. And the first thing that people said during this pandemic, right, was when the pandemic started in March of 2020, was, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to, I'm going to wait. And I thought, I was thinking about that. Like, yeah, you wait, but there's work you do while you wait. So, of course, my
Yes.
talking about the work and the wait. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
in all of it. And so when
Yes.
manifesting more, when you're desiring more, when you want more, you have to one work on your mindset first. But there's also
Yes.
doing. Like it's not just sit and wait for it
Mm-hmm.
to come to you. Like you have to put in the action. You have to put in the work. But
Yes.
you have to know that it takes time and you have to wait. And so those are things that I'm working with right now. So I share it with others.
Yes. I almost said misery loves company, but like that's not it. Like it really is something that we're walking through. And you know it's funny because you say that, Tammy, about the whole thing about waiting and like with the with the with the quarantine and in March and how everything kind of just went. I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like with us in the skin tone and the path that we've been on, that when the world stopped like that, I felt like now's my chance to catch up.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what
Right?
only did I catch up, but there were some things that I had neglected and
Yes.
realized that I knew I needed to focus on. So it gave me time
Yes.
to do the work while I waited, right? And
Right.
so I know, like everybody else, we couldn't really do anything. We couldn't do something. Even now, some places are still not fully open or,
Hmm.
at the level that it was. And it never will be, but at least at where you can move freely, right?
Yes. Yes.
So because of that, I knew I needed to do something to during that time. That it was like a gift. It was like, Chris,
Yes.
yes, I can
Hmm.
do this. So I wrote a book. I published a book during that time. I
Yes.
focused on updating my website and doing some
Hmm.
like behind the scenes that
Yes.
entrepreneurs tend to and business owners tend to neglect because we're serving
We're
our
working
business
in the business as opposed to on the business.
and we're focused on serving others. And it's about
Yes.
others. Like,
Right.
yeah, you need to be able to book, but you need this, right? You're whatever your problem is, that thing that you're coming to me for, you know, you need this. And so when you're serving others, that's the goal. And so
Yes.
there were some things I needed to do. So it allowed time for that. So yes, I was with you on that. I had to get
Amazing. Yep. So tell me about your book. What is?
So the book is Read More. I told you I have this thing with more. And
Okay.
basically, I was posting every Monday for a while, right before the book came out. And I still do it occasionally now. But I was posting every Monday, Motivation Mondays. And I was posting original quotes. Like, I didn't really like to repurpose other people's quotes and things.
Yes.
I'll do it in my stories, but I really didn't like it on my timeline. That's just
Yes.
y'all can do what you want. So please don't be offended.
Don't cancel her for doing that, please.
Yeah, like don't be offended by that because that's
Yeah.
cool. Because some of those help me, just to be
Yeah,
real.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
I was doing that and I was thinking, I probably should publish these and get these kind of copywritten. And so during
Mm.
the pandemic, my sister was in the hospital for 11 days. She had caught COVID and was in a coma.
Mhm.
Death was really, I guess she died, but they brought her back type of
Oh,
thing. And so I
yeah.
was like, what can I do? Could I do it? So I needed inspiration. Like I said, I share my journey with you. I may do it in a different
Yes.
way, but what I'm going
Yes.
to know. And so I needed my own words.
Mhm.
I needed those things to say, Tammy, you can keep going. Like, Tammy, you've got to do this. Like, Tammy, you've got to get up. You got to keep going. And so
Yes.
that's when I wrote the book. I decided, let me put these in one place so I don't have to scroll through my Instagram feed. I don't have to go through my archives where I've hid them because I hadn't published them yet. And I said, let me publish them. Let me put them in a,
Yes.
and if they're serving me, I know they can serve others. Even if it's one person, that's all I need.
Yes. Right. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I'll
So it's just
have it here, by the way. So read more.
reap more. So you made reaps an acronym?
Yes, it is. You caught that. That was
I
quick.
caught that.
Martin's awesome. Reflect, evaluate, adjust, and plan. So we've talked about all that today.
Yes.
So I put it in the book, and the things in there, because it's quotes, but it's also commentary. So you know how I came up with it, like what was going on in my life. And
Hmm.
then I have questions and space for you to write. So it's kind of like a journal too. So it's a place
Great.
to reflect, evaluate what's going on around you, adjust. Sometimes you have to adjust some things like we did
Yep.
the last year and a half, and then plan, like what's next. Prepare.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That reminds me, I'm a big time journaling person, and a friend of mine just wrote this journal, this Rise journal, and it's kind of has some prompts in it and stuff like that, and I really like it. But there was a time, it's like say like around October of maybe a couple of years ago, and I was like in a kind of a funk. Like I had my business going, my personal training, but it was one of those slow days. So I was sitting in a Starbucks, and I was kind of just like, this sucks. I'm not making any money right now. I'm just kind of just sitting here. And I just kind of write in my journal, like, this is terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? I'm kind of going through this thought process and putting on paper. And then I flipped over to say, 2016, October is still in my journal there. Same kind of day. And it's like, my journal's like, this is awesome. I have a day to myself to work on my business. Everything is so good. I'm glad I have this moment to breathe and to plan. I was in the exact same spot in terms of productivity, but my perspective was different.
Yeah.
And that was captured through my journal, the fact that one day in its emptiness was dismal, like my business is going downhill, and the other day in its emptiness was like optimistic about what I can do with this time to work on my business.
That's amazing. And that's why I like for people to journal, right? I like for them to journal because one, it captures those moments. One, it helps, it's cleansing, like it gets it out. And we're not going to get into brain research. I'm not going to get that technical. But, there's something about writing and writing
Yes.
down and getting it out. And so, and to focus on the reflective piece, like then you can go back to that. You can go back and see the cycles, the ebbs and flows of your life.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
big about flowing with life. You don't know what's going to come your way. You don't know what's going to hit you. We don't know when the pandemic's going to hit. Like, when was the
Right.
last, what, 100 years ago? And
Right.
so, so you don't know. So that's a good reminder. And
Mm.
like, you keep going, like, it will get better. So in a weird kind of ways, motivation, right?
It
And
is.
kind of keep
It
going.
it is, but I know for myself, full transparency, there was times when I write stuff in my journal and I was afraid to look back on it
Oh,
because of the ugly of that time of my life, the darkness of that time of life, or just the way I was feeling. So I would write it down and then just like dash it away. I would not go back to it again, even though there was so much motivation from looking back at it. Like that's only a recent practice for me to actually look back at something that I wrote. I don't know
okay.
if any in the chat are like that too, but like that's, sometimes I felt like that.
So Martin, listen, yes, and that's the thing I tell people. Like, now, what I'm talking about, it doesn't happen like, oh, you write it today, you celebrate it tomorrow. No, 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 no. This is like years, but you
Right.
did it, and it becomes a time capsule for you to keep those thoughts and what happened during that time. And it may be 10 years before you go back to it. It may be 3. It may be 6 months. It just depends. But you go back when you're ready. But the thing is, when you go back, it will serve you in that moment. It would be what you need
Yes.
in that moment. Just like, yeah, you reading that on that day, it was like, that was what you needed in a moment. Like, yeah, it may not be the best right now, but it's,
Hmm.
and so that's why I say journal. One, it helps you in that moment. And then you may go back to it, but it won't be tomorrow. Let's just be real. Like, no. Some of
Right.
the ugly, we don't want to face that immediately.
No.
That's not how
Yeah.
healing works, right? You have to do it when you're ready.
So,
It has to come when you're ready.
yes. So the topic for our chat today and also your topic for break is the mindset to manifest.
Yes. And so, because I'm all about what is it you want. So one of my things, I live stream. So one of my things is I always talk about, I am Dr. Tammy, your success strategist. I help you move in the direction of more. Sometimes that's Pilates, but move in the
Yes.
more and prepare for what's next. And
Mm.
the only way you can do that is to start with the mind, with your thinking
Yes.
mindset. And I've had to check myself, and I've had some friends check me too, in a
Yep.
year and a half, because there's been so many things. There's life, but there's also all these things that are going on globally, right?
Hmm.
And it's a lot. So you have to reset. You have to go back. You have to go back to that place. And you may not be able to do it when you need to do it, but schedule time to do it. So
Okay.
I've scheduled a week, like later this month, to just chill out and get it myself together. Like, get it together, slow it down,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
revisit some of those things. And of course, check some things off that I've needed to do. But you have to schedule time for that. You have to make time for that. And in order to get,
Yes.
you have to believe. In order to believe, you got to be positive. And it's hard when life is throwing things at you and you feel like you're ducking and dodging, moving and shaking.
Yeah.
It's difficult. And so you just have to remind yourself. So I thought Brink would be a great time to remind all of us, the
Hmm.
mind manifest is to remain positive, be patient, and get in that position of power. And when I
Yes.
power, it's more about being positive, that confidence, that strength, you know,
Hmm.
comes from that influence and impact that you
And
make.
impacts.
Getting from that, getting back into that stance. I feel like I'm got to get in my,
Yeah.
um, Muhammad Ali here, but
Yep. Yep.
that position um, to get what you
Right.
want, to get
Yeah.
to
The
tackle. Sometimes.
yes. So the image that comes to my head when you say that more and that impact is stuff that's over there that is just waiting for us over there. It's funny, the first image that comes to my mind is, you ever go into a mall and you don't know where a store is, and then the first thing you do is you go to that, that big panel where it has like the blueprint of the mall, and you see that the US speak there, JC Penney's over here, or like whatever, or Starbucks is over here, right? The very first thing that you need to figure out when you know where that map is, you know where that store is look for the "you are here."
Where you are. Yeah. Yeah.
The "you are here" place is the most important thing on that map, more important than where the Starbucks is. You need to figure out exactly where you are.
And so a big thing about, and that's it. Like, you got to find out where you are. And if you need help with that, that's why I'm here. But, it's all about self-awareness. Like, my biggest thing is to start with self-awareness. A lot of people think self-awareness is about what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want. It's more than that. It's that, because you got to know that you need self-care, you need rest, right? You need those things. But it's also your ability to understand your impact on others.
Yes.
Where you are and what you're doing, what you like, what you don't like, what you have, what you don't have, the way you be.
Yes.
How is that impacting others? How is that serving? Because we're serving, and service is your purpose. And in order to find that, we use our passion to kind of get to that. But if you're serving others, you not only need to know those things and have self-awareness, but you also got to know that impact on others, and making sure that impact and influence on others is, I like to say, positive, but in alignment with who you are and where you're going. But you got to know where you are first. You got to are here.
Yeah. But that is like, that's so hard. I can't imagine someone walking in your door and being able to answer that question, right?
No, a lot of people don't. So that's why it's a process. I have developed a system that that's in the book. Manifesting More is actually a playbook, and it has strategies. A lot of the strategies I use with my clients, and we kind of go through that. And part of that is starting from a point of affirmations, right? And think about positive thinking, because there's no way you can listen to what I'm saying, except where you are and where you're going and knowing what you need to do if you don't know, if you're not from a positive place, if you don't know what you have to offer, if you don't know So I invite everyone that's here, that's joining us, to write an I am affirmation, because I think you are whatever follows I am. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I am enough. I am worthy. I am limitless. And in my, in my posts and things, people will see that, like, I am extraordinary, right? Whatever it is. So have that and start from that place. And sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself those things. I like doing mirror exercises with people and have that. So sometimes our work initially is just you getting in the mirror, being able to look at yourself without laughing and saying, I am enough. I am limited. I am unstoppable.
Yes.
I am amazing, right?
Yes.
Because it starts there before we can get into that. So it is a process, Martin, because it can be overwhelming, but there's a process, because no one will hear anything I say. It's like, how about let's do this? Let's do this with your business. This is how you can monetize this. I can't get to the monetize piece if they're not even, if they don't know that they're worthy.
They're worthy of it.
Money
exactly.
And of the clients that will come from what we're right.
Yes.
So
some of my journals and some of the things, and like you said, I do my Finish Strong Fridays, like the complement to your Motivation Mondays. I do Finish Strong Fridays, and I haven't put up a new Finish Strong Friday for a while because I've been going back and looking at some of my old ones, and the one that came back up just recently again is where I am saying you are uniquely qualified.
Yes.
Right? So as much as we want to say we're awesome, we're all these things, like uniquely qualified, and just embracing the unique part, because that unique part to being qualified says that I'm in a class by myself.
Yes.
Everyone has a Pilates certification around me, but no one has my lived experience and my passion and my eye. I'm uniquely qualified to do what I do. So I could stand beside someone who has 15 letters after their name and know that I am uniquely qualified.
Yes. And see, that's when I always say, I say the same thing, but I say it a little sassy, Martin.
Yeah.
Say I'm extra, because extra meaning I do all these things, and I'm Pilates. Yeah, and I'm Pilates certified, right? But I'm extraordinary. So I usually put part in caps and then with the other one. But it's basically saying the same thing. I'm qualified for what I don't find anyone else like me. Let's roll. Let's
roll. Yep. The other one, the second one that I've come across, I have put this one up a couple of times and I'll probably put up again, simply says, you are flawsome.
Ooh, I like that. I may steal that.
You're more than welcome to take it, because we think awesome has to be connected to perfection. It has to be connected to being flawless. But in spite of my flaws, I'm still awesome. With every one of my flaws, I am still awesome. And know that no one on this planet is without flaws. So we are all flawed.
I like that, because that's me. That describes me.
Hi, how you doing? Right. Exactly. Yeah, so like those were those messages. And I think that the more that we can internalize those messages, then that gives us that solid footing so that we could take off and launch off into what we're supposed to be doing next.
And it's
Like
different.
the
That next is different for each of us.
right.
You know, and it may be a smaller step for someone. And so the other thing, you can't compare. Like you said, you're uniquely qualified, but you are unique. And so your next is different from my next. But
Mhm.
to get there, you got to believe. And
Yes.
yeah, this is
That's exactly, this is so good, right? This is exactly why I wanted people to just put out what they're doing, like in the chat, like what workshops and what all those different things. So, Jenna's here, and yes, privileged to know and work with both of you. Thank you so much, Jenna. And like we were saying, shout outs to all the people who are putting on conferences, like you see Momentum Fest coming up, or PMA, and like these are big things that people are putting through. Um, but at the same time, if you have like a 2-hour workshop coming up, that's just as important. That's that's your impact, right? That's the thing that you have going on, and that is amazing. There was one actually that someone put up here. I want to give a shout out to. I believe it's Tammy. Let's go through all these comments. We were just diving deep in this conversation, Dr. Tammy, and I've totally have ignored all these comments.
okay. I've been kind of waving like on the slide, like as I've been talking.
Yeah. So Jennifer Hudson was saying, think beyond PR, was saying, I think I heard your Texas in your voice there, Dr. Tammy. So a shout out.
Here's my Texas girl here.
Yes. So, and exactly. So, and when I was asking people to write their titles down, their business cards, strategic communications consultants, right? A movement applies teacher. And I mean, saying no business card, which is fine.
Yeah.
And sorry, there was another one. Oh yeah, we were talking about writing being your main practice.
Yes. Somebody's talking about no business card. Like, that's cool too. Like, because now we have outlets to share who we are and what we do, that you just like, what is that phrase? What is that for you? And so
Yes.
that's what you lead with. Like always, I'm Dr. Tammy, the catalyst, right? And so you just know what you lead with. That way people know how you serve and what.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to
People know how you serve. That's good.
business card, right? Because there's so many different ways that you can connect with your audience and your people that you serve. So it's just a matter of knowing what that is for you and not limiting it. Be like, don't limit yourself.
Absolutely. Kara, KSA Fitness she has a conference coming up. So created inclusive fitness-based conference this Saturday at 1. Nice.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Right? I'm gonna probably get her on at some point to talk about that, because I think that would be good to let people know what's going on. Thank you, Jenna. Thanks for jumping in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there's so many things here. Doctor, we just glazed over that. So somewhere in the middle of your hustles, you got some letters behind your name here. So what is that in? And yes.
So I did that. I really got, I was a student of Pilates for a long time, and I, I decided to get certified and actually teach for gas money while I was getting my doctorate degree. So I kind of got over it. But it's actually education. I'm a curriculum. PhD is in curriculum and instruction, and is my particular focus. And right now I teach developmental education courses. So I teach those students who are underprepared for college, and help them move toward more strategies they need to be successful in college and life. So I do this thing. People always see what I do in my business and disconnected, but what I do with my degree and in my day job is the same thing. It's just a different population. And so my in curriculum instruction. So I like, doing those things. I really like teaching. That's why I say teaching is my thing. Like teaching.
Yep.
That's the thread for me to teach.
I love that. That's the same message I'm preaching to my kids all the time. It's not about what you want to do when you grow up, it's about who you want to become. And that who you want to become will have expression regardless of what you're doing. If you're a leader and you're doing data entry, or you're a leader and you are teaching, kindergarten, it's
Yeah.
going to have the same expression. You're going to find those ways to let those gifts come out in our way. So it doesn't surprise me that like you're writing the same play in different arenas, right? Like it's all the same thing because it's who you are.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
who are you and where
Yep.
are you? So basically what Martin just said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna become. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna tell you how old I am because I'm sticking to it that I'm 25. But
Okay.
even at this age, I'm still evolving. I'm still becoming. I'm still
Yes.
working on whatever's next is for me and how I
Right.
expand and grow my impact and influence and serve others. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's never too late. So all that to say, it's never too late. So if
Right.
you feel that in the pit of your belly, right in your chest, you kind of feel it in these two areas. If you feel it
Mm-hmm.
there and you're like, yeah, I can do more. Whether
Yes.
the number you serve or what you are doing to serve,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. Just go.
Yes.
Just go.
Yes. Brink is going to be so good. Dr. Tammy speaking to that. And then this is our first conversation, everyone. And even with me just reaching out to her this week, I haven't had the time for even the preamble talk with her. Like, this is the first communication that we're having really right now. And my talk is on the how.
Ooh.
So everything that you just said there about bolstering ourselves in who we are and our why manifests in a how. And from there, that how may change because that can be fluid, but our why is going to stay the same. You're concrete in your why, and your how is going to change, but that how is going to stay true to who you are on the inside, all that stuff you're talking about. So all of our messages tie into that in some way, shape, or form. So I'm really, really excited for this
So what's the
weekend.
title of your talk?
It is know your why,
Okay.
own your how.
Ooh. Ooh. I love that because that's what people like. People work with me, they don't own that how. Like they get wrapped up.
Yes.
People even get wrapped up in what I do. Like you're supposed to be a college professor. Like you're Dr. Tammy. Like, yeah. And I have to tell them, one, I'm only Dr. Tammy because my family call me Dr. Tammy. My mom calls me Dr. Tammy. So because she calls me Dr. Tammy, I use it as an affectionate term. I don't use it because of my title. I use it.
Mm,
Parents call me that, and they cleaned my bottom when I was a baby. So if they call me that and they find pride in that, that's more of for them, right?
yes.
For me, it's a term of endearment. But
Mm-hmm.
and so when we talk about owning your how, like people get upset. Like I say, I'm a teacher, and but you teach Pilates, but you teach, Zumba, you teach yoga, you teach. Yeah, I do it in different places. I teach college students. Yes, yes, I teach pre-service teachers. I do professional development with faculty and staff. Yeah, I do all those things, but I'm okay with that, and that's why I always say, like, I'm extraordinary. I'm limitless. I'm unstoppable. And that's because I know that I do all those things and I don't fit the mold. Like all the things we've been talking about, Martin, I think are what we're doing with Brink complements each other because owning your how and how that vehicle you use to serve, you got to own that and what that looks like. And it's not about what others say about it. It's how you feel about
Thank you.
it and you owning that and then serving. Like, what is that impact? Like, make sure you're doing what
Yes.
I've set out to do, that you've been
Yes.
to do. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Owning.
That's what's up.
Hello. If it wasn't taken, I'd take it.
Well, thank you for preaching my sermon, first of all.
Oh,
And second of all,
did
the
I say?
reason why the reason why I say that and I love that topic is because everyone looks at why and then everyone moves to what. And people don't camp out on the how and owning your how. So I want to just like, okay, stop the bus for a second and let's look at this before we run
Right.
and serve. You know what I mean? Like, let's just stay in this little piece for a moment. Let's just hang out here
Or
for
what
a moment.
people do, Martin, is they'll skip over it because they're ashamed of what that how looks like because it doesn't
Right.
match what people think or think they know
Yes.
about them.
Right.
And no, like let's own this baby, right? Let's walk into it, dance into it. You know, Pilates will get you all lubricated and ready to go. So let's do this.
Yep. Uh, People, if I wasn't excited about my message already, I've found a soul that is just absolutely just resonating with me on all the different things that I believe about my message there. Like it's one thing to be excited about because you know it in your heart. And then when it just bounces off of someone else like that, like it just makes me so excited for that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Wow. And that's 10:56.
Sorry. Keep going.
That's so
He actually has a business to run, y'all. So I guess we
right.
quit.
Man, I'm so excited. Dr. Tammy, it's been so great chatting with you. I'm so excited for everyone who's joining us at Brink. I'm so excited for people who are jumping into the PMA too. Like Stella's going to do such a great job with that talk and just having some amazing people in the room there too. I'm just so excited about where our industry is at and how rich we can become if we just lay hold of that which we need for ourselves to just find it where we need to find it, you know? So it's really, really good stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate you for your time, for reaching out to me and allowing me to share your platform. I don't take that lightly because I do, as a best business strategist, I know what that means to have someone and someone that we didn't really talk before and to trust that I was going to show up as my best self for you and your audience. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Amazing, amazing. And thank you to all of our guests today. I really appreciate all of you, your comments, your interactions. And I just saw one last thing here. Kara, KSA Fitness Toronto, is doing a quick live at 12:15 today to talk about her creating inclusive fitness spaces conference. So tune into that. Please follow her. She's doing great work here in the GTA and beyond Toronto. So amazing, amazing people. All right, my friend. Thank you so much once again. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. All
Y'all
right. Take care, everyone. Bye.
exit. So bye.